Hello, Namaskaram. Welcome back to another video. So today I'm gonna discuss with you about my CAP interview experience. So I know a lot of people will be anticipating a lot of IIM calls, and CAP calls are one of the important calls when you are targeting IIMs per se. So in this video I'm gonna explain how my CAP interview was 1 year before the actual time, and what all preparation I did for my CAP interview, and also what are the tips that I can give you based on my experience to crack the CAP interview process. So yeah, this is Gokul V. Sunil. Let's get started. So in CAP, there are almost 9 to 10 IIMs which is coming under the CAP process, which is called a common admission process, where there will be only one single interview to analyze your attitude and personality, and they will give you a score based out of that interview, and towards the end they will make a cumulative score based on various parameters. So for example, for IIM Trichy, the weightage will be roughly, for example I'm saying, will be like 40% weightage for CAT exam score, 20% for PI, 20% for academics, etc, etc. But that won't be the the case with another IIM. So for example, IIM Jammu, the percentage weight for CAT score will be maybe 50%. So you will never know. So but at the end of the day, the interview score will be similar, and based out of the percentage of the composite score, it will be calculated differently for different IIMs. So that's how the process will be. So if you're coming down to my experience, so my CAP interview was not that intensive. Like in an SPJMR interview, the interview will go till 45 minutes or 1 hour. Also, there's a fact that it's a group interview, and for other process also, IIM Rohtak, they conduct separately. They will go for 30 minutes or so, and for XLRI also they will give 20-25 minutes. But my CAP interview was kind of little fast. I think it lasted around 10 to 15 minutes only. And coming to my experience, it was actually one of the best interviews that I had last time around, because this is some interview right after interview we have a lot of hope that we will get at least some good admissions because of the performance in the interview. So some interview we won't get an idea of how did we perform in that particular interview, and how the interviewer perceives us in that particular moment. But after my CAP interview, I was really confident, like I have performed really well. So I will tell you like what this context was. They started off by asking me about, like, tell me about yourself. So I have given them my prescribed answer, like the answer that I have been prepared for. And after that, they took a slight turn. They asked me about lot of extracurricular activities that I mentioned in my introduction. So that's why I will always tell people, when you're preparing, tell me about yourself. You should intentionally put all the things that you actually want to talk about in a particular interview. So for example, in my case, I'll put some of my extracurricular achievements in my introduction, so that if the interviewer catches eye or notices that particular thing and drives that interview towards that direction, it will be very comfortable for me. So it actually worked that way. The interviewer catch that particular thing and went into my extracurriculars. And one thing that stood out was that I was very interested in sports, and I was a college-wide cricket team vice captain. But I also had a lot of interest towards football in the sports category. So the interviewer also, I think, was a football aspirant, and our entire conversation shifted to football. So I am a person who supports Manchester United in the English Premier League. So the entire interview process shifted towards there. Like he asked me a lot of questions from English Premier League per se, about Manchester United, who's the manager is, when there was a tragedy that occurred with the Manchester United team. When was that? How did the team revamp after that? Then they asked me several basic questions regarding English Premier League. Who's the team? Which is the team which is called as the Foxes, and which team has the tagline called "You will never walk alone." So all these things were pretty much comfortable for me. For people who are actually following English Premier League, you will also be able to answer these kind of questions. So that was the entire shift in my interview, and it lasted till like 5 to 6 minutes. So the entire ice was broken there, and I had a great conversation going on. And after that, the other panelists also asked me, like, why are you shifting from engineering background to a management background? That also I had a solid answer that I conveyed. But the overall momentum and the attitude of the interview was really good, because they were also wanted to have some good conversation with me. I'm also comfortable with whatever I was being communicated. So entirely in the positive, in a psychological sense, it was going in my way. And after that question also, again they came back to my extracurriculars. We had some chat regarding my theatre experience, and also one of the awards that I got, which is the Rashtrapati Award from Bharat Scout and Guides. So we discussed a little about that also. And they didn't ask me anything about my bachelor's, like my mechanical engineering background. They did ask me about my work ex, which I explained in a few lines. That also was there, but apart from that, nothing like a general awareness or something. So the entire thing was revolved around my extracurricular activities, and also something from my profile as well. So yeah, that was my CAP experience. And after that, when the result came out, I converted almost all the good big schools in that particular category. I converted IIM Trichy, I converted IIM Ranchi, Raipur. IIM Udaipur was the only call I think I didn't convert. Apart from that, almost all the new IIMs and baby IIMs I was able to convert. So yeah, and I think that is basically due to my high score in interviews, because it's totally available out there. If you search for some videos of RTI, you will get the information as to what is the minimum composite score required to get into a particular B school as per last year's trend. So based out on that, even I checked before the results came out, like what are my chances if I am scoring, if the weightage is 20%, if I am scoring like almost 18 marks out of 20 in my interviews, will I get a call or not? I mean, get an admission or not? So in that sense, I figured out that I got actually a good amount of marks in my interview. So that's why I was able to convert IIM Trichy and also IIM Ranchi at a percentile of 95.36, being a general engineering main. So I think the interview actually helped me, and I hope this experience also helped a lot of CAP aspirants. One thing I have to give you as a tip is that just like I mentioned in your intro, make sure you plug in some key aspects that you want to discuss about. So if you want to drive your interview in a particular direction, do include that in your intro. And whenever they are asking a question, try to answer in a way that it will cover that your the area that you actually want to discuss about. So if they're asking about a situation where you have actually portrayed a leadership role, you can always relate it to a sport which you are actually comfortable with, or you're actually grown up playing with. So I will always transfer that to my leadership role as a vice captain of my college cricket team. So you can do that kind of some switching and make sure that the interview goes on in your way. So that's some tips that I can give you, and always attempt any questions in a positive manner, and couragefully attend all questions. And if you don't know the answer, couragefully say that I don't know the answers, but I will look into it after the interviews. And always try to keep a smile on your face, and attempt the interview in a positive way. So that's what they are also looking for, a person who can communicate better and will be able to handle all the nuances that comes along with the MBA program. Feel free to have a chat with me over my Instagram or LinkedIn if you want any help. And also please consider subscribing to my channel and share with your friends this particular video. So yeah, see you soon with other cool videos. This is Gokul V. Sunil. Let's see you in the next video. Bye bye.